Okay, guys, we are here. We are full board. We are going to entertain our people. Remember,
Absolutely.
we're talking to the future viewers, not to the current viewer. Okay, so future viewers, I hope you're having a great time. I hope all the Hatufim are already back home.
Amen.
Bezrat Hashem. Amen.
All
And
the hostages are back home. Amen.
Amen.
and the time you're watching this. And I think we're gonna talk about all things real estate and war and economy and sentiment and feeling and hope and
Yes.
future and great
A lot of
stuff.
hope.
Yeah, and Aliyah and timing and life decisions. Wow, that's so exciting.
Very
Yeah.
exciting.
Let's try to keep it short anyway. We have so many things, but we have to keep things for next week because this is a weekly thing. Okay, we're gonna do this every week. I know that in the beginning it's gonna be asked, but we are interesting people, so we're gonna have fun. And every week we're gonna have more and more viewers. And you're all invited to be part of the conversation. There is a Zoom link, you can join us. And we are just gonna share our life experience and viewpoints and hopes and some data. Okay, we do have data we're gonna talk about. But because we are dealing with the future, we don't know. We don't have a crystal ball, or sometimes it's not working.
No.
So we're gonna do our best to estimate. We're gonna do our best to operate based on limited information and help you hopefully make better decisions. Okay, that's our main goal, I think. What do you say, guys?
Very good. Maybe we should start with people that are thinking to make Aliyah right now.
Exactly.
People,
There's no-
I believe people are very confused. They don't know where to start. They don't know how to start. They don't know many things. So the first point should be, how can Israelty help them making good decisions?
That's a very good question. First of all, how do we
That's
know?
the first question.
What?
Sorry?
What? Sorry, I interrupted you.
No. I said that should be the first question to ask.
Okay. And who will answer? We will start answering.
Ilanit,
Go ahead.
who will start answering?
But no, but maybe I can get it and Ilanit will
Please.
join.
Go ahead.
So first of all, technically, I think Aliyah, from a technical point of view, is not a complicated thing. You have a phone number of Global, they will start leading you on the process. Let's talk about the decision. Okay, and maybe this is where you come because you made this decision to leave everything from a decent country and to come to Israel, facing all the difficulty. You came with kids, you come with, you had to get a property. And I think now more than ever, this question is because we have two different pressures. No, we have the war in Israel, which is a huge pressure on what you're gonna move to a war zone, and so maybe you can share your experience of being in Israel during war. This is not your first war, if I'm not mistaken. And then from the other side, there is the anti-Semitic pressure. Okay, Jews from all over the world are experiencing difficult times, from comments to swastikas on the street and protests and real violence. So we have these two powers pressing, like pushing you towards Israel from one side, but if you're a rational person, you should be scared. Okay, this is war zone in a way. So maybe start by sharing, Ilanit and Joshua, how is your daily life? Okay, we didn't present ourselves, by the way. So Ilanit and Joshua, they live in Israel. That's a key thing. They came from Canada.
So we live in Israel. We have 5 kids. We came 5 kids that we know of, and so we came in 2015. So we did Aliyah in 2015. It wasn't easy. It's a whole process.
Many
but
adjustments, of course.
Once you're making the decision, Israel, it's a country for immigration. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 60 or 70% of people living in Israel right now were not born in Israel.
Oh,
So
I didn't know that.
yeah, it's an immigration country. So there's many process to help what we call olim hadashim, so new immigrants to settle in Israel. Now the process of settling, it's finding work, finding a neighborhood,
It's actually building your whole life. You start
building your whole life from scratch. And also it's to buy a house, to know where you're gonna buy a house, what community you're looking for. These are stuff that people are looking for.
Exactly. If I may, the
Yes,
way
you
it
may.
works,
Yes, you may.
the way it works is like this. The first thing that you want to do is, after you've sold your house wherever you live in the United States or Canada, Europe, you you find the community. There are many ways to find different communities, whether they're Anglo or French community or Russian, whatever it is you're looking for. Even if you want to be in the Israeli community, right? And you go and you put yourself in there. Once you're in the community, maybe you want to rent for a little bit and you want to see where you want to live, but not for long. Do you want to rent? Because whether we like it or not, it's a very known factor. It's a fact that Israel is very pricey. They say that it's a honor, it's a zchut to live in Israel because it is very expensive. And the one thing people always think about is two things. One, their parnasa. How does their parnasa come along with them? And two, how are they able to take the house that they sold and not spend all the money on the rent, since we know that rent goes by fast and the money goes out the window real quick. They want to go ahead and buy. Now, once they make the decision to buy, the reason Israelty was even created was because of all the roadblocks that we stumbled upon and that we had to get through. And the roadblocks that many people that we have helped here at Israelty has gone through, and we were able to help them conquer these issues. And how? By being their personal shopper. That's what we do, by serving them exactly where they need. So they're not in the mood to go for the headache of, oh my God, I have to deal with. It works differently the United States and Canada over here in North America, much differently. So, the whole process of going to look for a house, real estate agents here, they're not real estate agents, they're tourists. Themselves, they don't even know what the house looks like because there's no exclusivity. It's very rare for anyone to get an exclusivity. And then you're going to see the house for the first time. Sometimes the real estate agent is also seeing the house for the first time. And themselves, they don't even know what the actual value of the house is or any of it. So basically, it's as if they're taking you along. Here, what we do is we do the research for you, for the community, for the housing, whatever it is that you're looking for. Now, let's say you're looking for a house, but you're not in the mood to start doing some renovations. When it comes to renovations, that's our expertise as well. So we'll go ahead and we'll get you all the renos that you need. We have the plans, the architects, designers, the whole real estate issue, closing the house, the banking, the notary, the lawyers, all of that. So all those are steps that we've
been through. Let's
not
say
only been through, helped others, but definitely help you, whoever is looking for in the household, omit these steps. So you don't have to go through the headaches. You don't have to have the headache in order to buy a house. There is a personal shopping service where all you do is just give your list of what it is that you'd like and what you don't want. And we put that together and we find the ideal home for you, specifically for you. So it's like a customizable real estate shopping plan.
But now let's go back a little bit in the past. We've created the Israelty to help people, just like people that are doing Aliyah, because we've been through the system, we've been through the process, and to be honest, the process was hell from the beginning. It was hell finding a house. It was hell finding a mortgage. It wasn't easy to find a good community. It wasn't easy to find kablan that we say for renovation. So this is the reason we've created Israelty, to help people and to make the process simple. Like we say, simple in different ways, because we've been through. So in Israel, when you're coming from the States or Canada, France, England, you know the system, you've been through the system. But in Israel, it's a complete different system. And if you don't know the system, it's very hard to manage through it. That's what I believe. So this is why we've created Israelty, to help people and to give a service from A to Z. So once you start with us, we'll hold your hand. It will be your bodyguard until the end, to make sure that you have every dollar that you're spending, it's a good dollar. It's every shekel that you're spending, it's a good shekel.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we could use that here in Canada too.
Yeah, I think purchasing real estate is always a scary thing.
Very scary. Same thing when you're doing Aliyah, Roy. When you're doing Aliyah, it's very, very scary. So you want to have, when you're doing Aliyah, you want to make sure that you have in your entourage some good people to help you. Because usually buying a house will be the most expensive thing that you'll do in your life. So you want to make sure that your entourage, the people that you're dealing with, are, I want to say good people, but I will say reliable, have the experience and the expertise.
I think reliability is the key here. It's not about being good and bad. I know that the real estate.
It's not about the being good or bad, but it's to be reliable.
It's
So
to
for
be
now,
reliable and professional, because I think
professional.
the
And for
biggest
now,
complaint,
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
the biggest complaint we hear from foreign buyers, not only foreigners, but let's talk about them for a second, is that Israeli agents overall are not very professional. I'm sorry, but this guy is brilliant. He's a genius. We cannot hear you, guy. You're on mute.
A genius who's on mute. Can you guys actually read that?
Welcome
Yeah.
to the Israelty show.
Yeah,
can read this.
now you should, let's do some effects on that. So it's been reliable and be like, show you the thing as it is. And when you're a foreigner, and like there is, every foreigner in every country is an easy target for locals, no?
Absolutely.
So you need to have someone on having your back and making sure you're not falling into even just paying overprice because you're not familiar, you don't know, and so someone with local from one side, but from the other can communicate with you and he can understand where you're coming from is highly is very important. I would like to ask you too, mainly because you're currently in Israel. How does it feel to after you made Aliyah? You're Israelis. Okay, you are Israelis that came from Canada, but you are. How does it feel? And my follow-up question will be the real estate market in wartime. But how does it feel for, because I'm sure people that are watching you that are not in Israel, they are curious. How is your daily life? How does it affect you? Because put yourself in a place of someone that wants to do Aliyah, they're scared. So tell us, maybe reassure us that you're okay, that you're safe.
Let me start. If I was not listening to the news, I wouldn't know there's a war in Israel. I wouldn't know. We're living in central Israel. We're living in Tel Mon, middle of Israel. So as you know, we're not living in the north. We're not living in the south. So for us, we're okay. We're okay. But there's a feeling of the war, which is normal. There's a feeling of pressure. There's a feeling of people in distress, which is normal. There's a feeling that who knows what's going to happen tomorrow. But it's I would say it's a feeling that we're also in control of our destiny. That's my feeling.
The nation you refer to, like
The
Israel.
nation is in control. I don't feel there's a panic also. There is no
No.
panic.
Because of the unity, because what's happened is that there was such a breakage in the nation, and that what's happened is that there's such a unity that everyone is feeling this unity and feeling so, other than the fact that our hostages are not here, we all feel like we're not breathing because these kids are there, and because the exchange is crazy. The idea of 3 prisoners for 1 baby doesn't make sense. But other than that, we are, in complete a feeling of serenity because of the fact that we have this unity together.
Yeah, no, that's
Don't forget 3 to 6 months ago, it was a mess over here. It was a mess. It was a big mess. I'm gonna make you laugh, but things are better now. As a nation, things are much better now.
Actually, I remember how much you were complaining. I remember
Social
you were
point of
complaining.
view, I agree. I think like everyone does what they can. Now my sister goes twice a week to the south to cook. They do hamburgers for soldier.
Absolutely. Yes, my wife does halot for the soldiers.
Everyone does what they can, and that's amazing. That's like everyone recruit is come to the flag. I think.
Don't forget one thing. 6 months ago, in the news, in the Israeli news, we were talking about civil war. Do you remember?
Yeah, now you guys are united.
Civil war. The left against the right, the religious against the not religious. It was a mess. We're not talking about civil war anymore. Now we know we have a common enemy. We need to defeat that enemy, crush that enemy, and kill that enemy.
And we understand
that's a
the
different
message
story.
is very clear. The message is very clear. It's about unity, and it's about hope, and it's about building. And we're such a resilient nation that we know that we're going to get through this, and we're going to get through this together, only together.
Because we have no other place to go.
And
No
that's why
other
a
place
lot
to
of
go.
North American Jews are feeling that right now they cannot stay in the States or in Canada or in America. If anyone is watching this, you can write comment, you can write replay if you're watching it in the replay, or live if you're watching it live. But it's a known factor that I have a lot of friends in North America that themselves in their life, they never imagined for 1 second wanting to move to Israel. It's a beautiful place for them to come and visit in the summer, but not to move here. And somehow the thought in the past month and a half hasn't left their mind. Am I safe here in America? Why am I even raising kids here in North America? Do I have a future here? Do my kids have a future here? Should I start thinking of making Aliyah? Well, if you are and you're watching the replay, well, you're in the right place right now to get all your questions answered.
So how can I get my question answered? Should I reach out to you?
Absolutely. You get to have, not only that, we have one-on-one calls. You can book a call with us and we can answer all your questions, whatever it is you're looking for. Like I said, you can compile a list of all the things that you want and all the things you don't want. I have a friend that's here from Florida, and she has been going through in, the first year that she came here, she didn't plan to buy. She wasn't planning to even live here for good. But because they're at the age where they're empty nesters and they're living in Boca Raton, they'd rather be here. And honestly, they said, wow, I wouldn't even know where to start if I was looking for a house, because of the idea that every American knows. I have the American accent. I say shalom, ma shalomcha, and the first thing I get is scammed by an Israeli. It's like a known factor. So Americans have this thing, or North Americans, where, oh my God, I'm going to get scammed. Never mind buying a house. If I'm buying a shawarma at the shuk, the Israeli is buying it for 25 shekels and I'm buying it for 45. Why? Because they
Not anymore. We all pay over 40 for that, but yeah.
But they all feel like they're being scammed. And so when it comes to purchasing a house, it's an even bigger issue. And they think, I wouldn't even know where to start. So if you're questioning yourself, where do I start? Where do I look? I do have a list of things that I would like if I had to purchase a house. I would like this, or I would not like this. Then we could put that together and give you a few options and tell you, look, your options are, this is what you have as options for your, you want to know how much you're getting your bang for your buck at the end of the day. That's what it comes down to. Taflis. You sold your house in Connecticut and New York for close to $800,000, close to $1 million. And you want to know, what do you get here in Israel for close to that? Is it just an apartment? Are your kids going to yeshiva, university? Are you on your own? And are you, do you need more rooms for kids? Whatever it is you're looking for. We have different requests for different people at different age groups. And so we're always here to serve them all.
Amazing. And what's happening is that who is buying today? Are there any, what's going on?
Locals are buying. Do we have a lot of foreigners buying in Israel? The answer is no, which is normal. As you know, the amount of people from outside of Israel coming to Israel for the last month, it's probably next to, I don't know, zero. So it's not easy. For the last 6 months, the real estate market wasn't good also, as you may know. But there's a big but right now. Since we started the beginning of the war, the level of construction in Israel, it's almost at zero. You see different, because most of the workers are Palestinians. Most of the workers are not Jews. Most of the workers they're from Tulkarem. They're coming to Israel to work, plastering, painting, plumbing, name it, you got it. So what's going to happen in the next few months? It's a big demand for housing, but projects are not finished. So this project will not be finished. That project will not be finished. And I believe, and once again, we don't have a crystal ball, but I believe, once again, the price will go up. Price will go up because not a lot is moving right now in Israel. So I believe that the demand will surpass the offer. And if we have a lot of Olim Chadashim, let's say, I don't know, 150, 200,000 in the next year, 2024, we'll have a big demand.
1 million expected over the next 3 to 5 years.
Exactly. So it's 150 to 200 per year. Which
Wow.
is, and people, they're looking to
live
buy
somewhere.
and they have to live somewhere, even if they're gonna rent. But if there's no place to rent, people will buy. People will buy to rent. So there's gonna be a demand. I believe there's gonna be a big demand.
So you said there's gonna be a demand, but the supply is halted. It's stopped. So again, economic is
Right now, until we
Right
until Israel finds a solution. Absolutely.
But in the last decade, we see this, that the supply overpassing is not matching the demand, is not meeting the demand. There is more
No,
demand.
there is more demand.
Prices are in
There is more demand than supply.
And now,
Absolutely.
based on what you're saying, is that the limited supply will be even more limited, and we're expecting
3 to 6 months.
demand, so prices will go up again. Now, after every war, unfortunately, in Israel, we have every few years we have something like that. We know that there is a wave of Olim Chadashim. There are newcomers, and as we just said, in the next, we are expecting a lot of people coming to Israel, and they all need to live somewhere, and supply is limited. So basically, what you're saying,
Land is limited.
Right.
Land is limited also.
Land is limited.
Land is
because
limited.
it's a small country.
Small country.
Land is one thing, and construction or development in progress is another thing. So there is not enough units in progress to meet the actual demand, and not even to say the upcoming demand. So you're basically saying that now is a good time to buy.
Now it's a good time to be honest with you. Now it's a good time to buy. Now it's a good time to make Aliyah also.
Why?
Once again, it's an opinion. But even though Israel, it's a new country, the language is different, but people over here, Israelis like us, are, let's say, are ready to have new immigrants. Let's say we're good to absorb them. There's a whole system to, let's say, to optimize the logistic of a new immigrant in Israel. Did you know that Israel is the only country in the world that will give money to new immigrants? The only country in the world. There is no other country in the world that will give money to new immigrants. Doesn't exist. We have over here what we call the absorption, immigration absorption. We make sure that new immigrants, we help them with work, we help them with medical, we help them in every aspect of their new life.
In Canada, in Quebec, where I'm from, they just take money from new immigrants and they make them take French classes and pay for them.
So actually,
That sounds like a pretty good deal.
They support professional immigrants. They have a nice thing. No, but Israel is famous for accepting.
It's famous.
I think North Americans will be excited about the not having to pay so much for health insurance. Because we have
a very good, to be honest, we have a very good medical system in Israel.
Yeah,
very good one.
And it's free of charge for every citizen. And yeah, Israel makes a lot of effort.
It's not free. Oh, it's not free. You're paying maybe a family of 6. You're paying about 400 or 500 shekels a month for medical. About.
You have private.
Nope. No. You're paying, if you have Maccabi, Leumi, you're still paying 70 shekels per adult and 50 shekels per kids.
Okay.
Because you have another system with Maccabi. You have different levels. You have level 1, level 2.
Okay, but if you're on the basic level,
it's different. Yeah, it's a different. Let's know. But and also you can have which I love. You have private insurance.
Yeah,
private insurance will cost. That's another thing. Will cost another 400 or 500 shekels per month.
Yeah. Another thing before we close is we saw when the war started, the shekel lost a lot of value against dollar and euro. Now it came back, but there is a lot of things behind the scenes that like Israel has a lot of USD reserves, and they started selling,
and a lot of and also a lot of money coming from outside Israel to help.
Yeah.
A lot of donations.
We saw like a movement that the euro, like the shekel lost almost 30% in the first 3 weeks, and then it came back, and now it's, I think, 15% less than what it was before the war.
Exactly.
But we see this as a temporary thing. We expect the shekel to lose more value against the dollar, and then everyone that purchased with foreign currency,
we'll save some
it's
cash.
like you have a discount. Because your money worth more when you buy in shekels, and in Israel you buy in
and
shekels.
Don't forget one thing also, Roy, you when you're taking a mortgage in Israel, you can also take a mortgage in US dollar.
So that's based on where you make your income.
Exactly. Exactly.
You can, yeah.
So it's a possibility.
You can protect yourself, and that's another service you offer, right?
Yeah.
Like how to make the best financial decision. That's it. That's important to know.
I have a question. As a business owner, what happens? Like, are there incentives? Because I know there are some countries that have a lot of incentives for businesses to move there or to start businesses there. Is this something that there's maybe programs for either new businesses or existing businesses to relocate to Israel?
Not to relocate to Israel, but let's say you have a business in Canada.
Yeah.
And you live in Israel as a new immigrant. We have what we call over here 10-year, when there is no de l'impôt. Comment on dit de l'impôt?
Tax.
When you have no tax on passive income.
There's no tax on passive income.
On passive income, there is no tax in Israel. There is tax in Israel on active income, but not in passive income.
Does the
I think
passive
he's
income need to be
coming.
by
I
Mike?
think
Sorry?
I might.
he's
That's
gonna
a
make the
good
call
one.
now.
I might be jumping on a plane soon.
Well, let's say that you're making $1 million, you're making a million of profit in
Yeah.
Canada, you will have to pay 25% because tax on passive income in Canada will be 25%, but in Israel you'll pay zero.
Plus, you have
After
to pay
10
your
years,
accountants to
after 10
calculate all that.
years,
Yeah.
if you pay 25% in Canada, you'll pay 3% more in Israel. You'll pay another 3% because on a tax on passive income in Israel is 28% for companies.
And is that passive income generated in Israel or from a U.S. stocks or any other international?
No, outside of Israel, passive income.
Outside of Israel.
Really? Okay, that's nice.
Outside
good.
of Israel. But don't
We'll
forget
get
one
stuck
thing.
in
You
here
have
soon,
passive
yeah.
income, but if you're living in Israel, you still have to pay what we call over here Bituach Leumi.
Okay.
Bituach Leumi, it's everything social.
Okay.
Social
got it.
security. Yeah.
Social security.
Yeah.
But for that, please, you can speak to an accountant, a lawyer that can help you with this type of planning.
Yeah, but planning is required.
It's not required, it's a must.
Yeah, I agree. Cool. So, let's bring this to a close. What's your take from it? What do you think is the most important thing that you've heard in this message, in this conversation, Ilanit?
I'm just wondering if there are any other questions that maybe we got, and well, but by other people, maybe any objections that we can debunk right now, any myths or
I
objections.
have here is now, are you sure now is the time? Because maybe we should wait till the war is over.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, no, a lot of people, exactly. We discussed that, right? We said that right now there's a lot of people that never thought in their lives to come to Israel, to move to Israel. But now more than ever, they would like to move to Israel, and they're thinking about what to do, whether if moving to Israel is the right thing for them or not. They can reach out and we can have a conversation with them, and we can, bring this further.
Yeah, but as you know, Roy, every week we have new immigrants coming from Russia, the States, England. Every week, 50, 100, 200, 500, 1,000.
People are still coming.
People are still coming and making Aliyah. Business is still open.
My question on that note is, how are things since the war? Like it's like you just said, sort of okay, but has anything actually changed since the war? Are people just operating day to day just like they did before? Are people more concerned? Are people changing in any way the way they do their day?
Well, put it this way, we have a lot of workers right now in the army. All right. So you have businesses that they will open at 9 and finish at 8. Now they will open at 10 and finish at 5. Or businesses that will open from Monday to Friday and then be closed on Sunday. So that's one aspect of over here. But the biggest trend in Israel right now, it's the unity in the people.
Okay.
We feel a big unity, a big sense of
Togetherness.
a big family. Put it this way, a big family.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot more unity, which is better than what you were talking
better
about
than
6
before.
months ago. And knowing that there's about 20% of the population or so, that's maybe 15, 20% that's Palestinian. How does that?
They're
sort
not.
of
I'm
shake
going to
out?
stop you right there, my brother. They're not Palestinian. They are what we call Arab Israelis.
Okay.
And they have the same rights as us. And there is no apartheid in Israel.
Okay. Well, weren't there some rumors that they were being discriminated against or something like that within Israel?
No, the answer is no. In Israel, you have Arabs that are judges, doctors, nurses, teachers. They have the same rights from A to Z.
In the army, they're everywhere. There's
Maybe
such
the Israeli
thing as
Arabs
open-
are the Arab citizens that enjoy the highest level of rights in the world.
Absolutely.
More than any other Arab country, because
Yeah.
Israel is a
And
democracy.
speak to any Arabic
And
person.
let's say one thing. Let's say that one day, I don't know when, you have a Palestinian country. All right? Do you want to know the amount of Arab Israelis that will go to this Palestinian country?
Really? Okay.
Zero.
Okay.
They will all stay over here.
So
But we have 20% of the population is Arab, but they are Israeli Arab. Some of them are Muslim, some of them are Christian.
Exactly.
And they're part of Israel. We don't.
And they're fully part of Israel.
And do you think that they see it that way? Do you think that they believe like they feel a sense of nationalism towards Israel, and they feel like they're Israeli first before they're anything else?
You know, don't ask us because we are Jewish. Ask them. So there is a very famous.
They'll tell you the truth. The truth is that they are Israeli first here. They are Arabic. They are Israeli first. But when they travel the world, they don't say they're Israeli, because
So I have a reference. He's a very famous. He's one of the most famous content creators, Nas Daily.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
He's Palestinian.
He's
Arabic.
He's Arab, and he said that his identity was always Palestinian Israeli, and after this October 7th, he's Israeli Arab.
And then Palestinian.
Take his word, not mine, okay? Because I'm not in their position. I can only share the anecdotes I know. Our best friend here in Madrid, she's she's Arab from Haifa. She's Christian Arab, and 2 days ago we met, and she said that the first day in the last almost 2 months that she could breathe because the hostages are being released. She's more extreme or more for
Released,
Israel
yeah.
higher. So
There's a few.
she said the IDF defends her life as well. So that's what they say. So just to be clear on that, to your question, did we answer?
Well, the first Israelty show was really good.
Actually, I have one more point. Check it out. This is some statistics for y'all. You can see that big jump was actually the week when the incident happened.
Wow.
And that shows you interest over time. So actually, it was dwindling a little bit. It was actually on the lower side right before this whole incident. And then you can see that it's jumped to actually 100 score, which means that it's higher than it's ever been right there in terms of interest over time, in terms of specifically real estate Israel. That was the word that this chart represents. So when somebody types in, is Israel real estate or real estate Israel, this is what corresponds to that. And you can see that it just picked up recently like crazy as a result of all this situation. And like almost like more, even now after that little peak, it's more than triple, quadrupled where it was actually before. So that actually reflects what you were talking about before, which is the unity of the Jewish people and just sort of that sense of, not only support or interest and community, but now I think they're all sort of, anyone who was planning on maybe making Aliyah is sort of thinking about it top of mind right now, and maybe considering that there's possibly an opportunity to be had right now long term. So for all the long term thinkers, this could somehow translate to a good investment.
Well, I also want to add to that my sister has arrived 2 months ago. She made Aliyah 2 months ago and is now living in Netanya. And she has been receiving phone calls and Messenger and Facebook and WhatsApps and whatever from friends and concerned old colleagues that she used to work with saying, "Are you okay?" And everybody says, everyone has told her, "You did the right thing. We all wish and envy you and wish we could be in your position because you already did your Aliyah." And it took her over 1.5 years. So if anyone is thinking of making Aliyah, Nefesh B'Nefesh is definitely your address. It takes over a good 1.5 years of paperwork, back and forth. There's a lot of paperwork. If you ever came to Israel, even if it's 1 year program, university program, yeshiva programs, they consider it as if you were living here. So that it makes it a little bit more complicated to get all the paperwork together. So if anything, reach out to us. We can help you with the whole real estate shopping experience and make it an easy, simple, fun process instead of a complicated. Yes, make it fun. Because if it ain't fun, it ain't going to get done.
So I guess that makes Israelty not only your real estate partner for anyone who wants to go to live in Israel, but also kind of like an Aliyah partner and somebody that,
Right, Aliyah partner, Nefesh B'Nefesh has a great website. And their website is, if anyone is thinking of making Aliyah, they get on the website and they see, what community, what suits them, like their religious level or not, what community they want, if it's Anglo or Israeli, whatever they're in the mood for, they put down and they would get Nefesh B'Nefesh on their website, has a whole generic, like you put in your requests and they say, okay, so these are the communities that you could be looking into. And when it comes to, all of the rest, you contact us.
All right, that's really great. Well, does anyone have anything to add in? I feel like this was a little clunky, but good first session. We'll work out the bug next time we do a session to make sure that everybody can do it.
It was very good for the first one. I'm looking forward for the second one.
Of course. So if there's any questions,
And that will be in exactly 7 days, no? Same time, same place.
Same time, same place, same hour. Israelty show.